Hello, 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 debt-free degree beloveds. Y'all, I love this series, Pontification with a Pro. And I am with my new friend, Anne. And y'all, she is sharing something so exciting. And so, before we dive right in, I just want you to be prepared to maybe take notes or maybe really, really be paying attention to what it is that she's sharing. And you probably want to rewatch this as well because this one is chock full of phenomenal information. For those of you who are intent on a debt-free degree, this is a game changer. And so, with that, welcome to Pontification with a Pro. And Sullivan, tell us a little bit about you, and then we'll get started.
So thanks so much, Dr. Roz, and thanks so much for having me on this podcast. I'm really excited to be here. So I'm Ann Sullivan. I'm founder and CEO of Lifestream Digital Innovations. And really, we are on a mission to help people really recognize and showcase their unique value. That's kind of our goal. And our primary product is Lifestream Digital Memory Box and its portfolio solution, which is a digital storage and portfolio solution that's really for anyone. But on today, we're going to obviously focus on students applying to college and how it can help them. So, you know how it's really hard to stand out among other applicants,
Mhm.
especially when you're applying to college. A lot of grades look the same. A lot of test scores are either not available or looking kind of the same because everybody's prepped for them. Now, you know, with AI and other things, essays are hard to differentiate from
Mm.
students, even. And admission professionals are seeing this and they're really challenged. And they're working to have a more holistic approach into the college application process so that they can really view a student holistically. But the challenge they had is they didn't have a tool to do that. And the challenge that applicants had is that they didn't have an easy way to showcase themselves effectively. And so Lifestream's here to solve that problem. And effectively, we are enabling students to save their best work, their athletic or artistic talent, or other talents or skills that they have, their volunteer work, all the things that really are memorable and meaningful to them, we say to Lifestream it. Because in the end, you actually need all of that information to
Mhm.
really help tell your story in the college application process, which ultimately is what's going to help you stand out. You have to be you within the college application process to help you tell your story. And then what Livestream also enables you to do is select out some or all of what's in your digital memory box to create a custom digital portfolio that you can easily put into your common application, your coalition application, or any online application. You just put the link in there, and it enables you to really showcase who you are and what you can do beyond your grades, resume, or test scores if you're
Outstanding.
needing them.
Outstanding. I think your quote was live stream allows you to show up as you.
Mm-hmm.
And because we each are however many days old we are, and we each have 168 hours in a week, and
Mm-hmm.
and I know that I do not like if you look at my CV, it does not indicate every single thing that I've done. I tried to at one time, put all of my podcasts and speaking on there, and I know I'm woefully behind. Also, as an entrepreneur, I don't know how often I'm going to use a CV, and so there's a little bit of that in there. Whereas with a memory box, it really does keep everything in one place digitally. So I'm so delighted, beloveds, that Anne has agreed to do a demo for us. Before you do that, however, or maybe perhaps while you're doing this, one of the things you also said, well, two things that I want y'all to really pay attention to. Number one, with the Common App, there's the place where you can put extra information. What some students have sneakily done is added another essay there as if, oh, here's another way for me to showcase my writing talents. I have admissions friends who say, please don't do that. That is not helpful at all.
Not
It
helpful.
is that is not what we need. However, a link to your memory box, to your, what do you call it, Ian? Is it a link to
It's
your
a, it's
memory
a link. The
box?
link is actually to the portfolio, the digital
Portfolio. It
portfolio.
would be it
It's,
would be like
it's
the Dr. Ross portfolio.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it would be
excellent.
your
Whatever
portfolio.
your student's
Yep.
name is, your
Mhm.
portfolio. Okay. So, number one, I want y'all to pay the students and families pay attention to that. Number two, and so, Anne, you may want to answer this now, or you may want to answer it as you're going through the demo. I'm curious when you curate,
Mhm.
when and why do you say I'll send this and I won't send this to this person, but I want to hold on to it. So as students and families are thinking through that process. So again, I don't know if you want to answer that now or if you want to go into the demo and then you can talk about that. So
Well, I'll do a quick answer, but then I will answer it
okay,
in more detail during the
thank you.
demo. But the quick answer is really your job as an applicant is to put your best foot forward in the application process. And so you need a tool like Lifestream that enables you to do that. And then on the other end, admission professionals spend an average of maybe 7 minutes on an application, and that's if they're engaged. And so you really, number one, want to help put that best foot forward, but give them something easy. The other thing kids are doing, aside from the essays, are creating a customized website or a Google Drive or a Dropbox link. And the problem with those things is that they're only organized in the way the student understands they're organized. Everybody uses different terms for other things. And one value that Lifestream brings to the table is that our portfolios are standardized, which not only helps the student and making it easier for them, but it helps the admission professional or actually a hiring manager, obviously, to thus Lifestream is college and career. But for college, it helps the admission professional find what it is that they would be interested in and looking for
Mm,
quickly and easily. They may not look at your entire portfolio, but as you'll see in the demo, we give you a way to show yourself holistically and while enabling the admission professional to find specific information that they need.
mm. So like if you are let's say you want to be an art major and so
Mhm.
all I guess maybe that's on my head in my mind because of portfolio or let's say you want to be a writer whatever it is so you want to keep all of your writing or all of your art or all of your digital products together but then you may want to send your very best three pieces and not include your entire portfolio to an admissions counselor. Whereas if you're applying to, an art program or, a master's of art or whatever, you may want to include all of those pieces. Is that
Mhm.
is that kind of the thinking that goes with it?
Sort of. So actually, this so portfolios today, while most people think of, oh, just either artists or athletes, the reality is all students need a portfolio. And to really get that holistic view, we work with many students who are also looking to be recruited for athletics. And why do we do that? Because they don't just want their athletic talent in
Mm,
that portfolio. What coaches want to see in today's recruiting process is not only that you can play whatever sport, obviously very well, and to a D1 extent, but they want to see who you are when you're off the field or off the ice or off out of the pool, whatever sport you might be playing. They want to understand who you're going to be as a part of their academic community as well. And the more you can showcase your value beyond that sport to that recruiter, the higher probability it's going to be you that gets selected and it's going to be you that gets the money because they
excellent.
want you in their community, not just for the sport.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's kind of with everything, whether you look at art, but even the kids that we help the most are actually what we call the bell curve kids. So you have some kids that are way, 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 you know, they've got, their magna cum laude and everything for their high school. They've done but there's a whole slew of really great kids that are
Yes.
just really smart, really energetic, have done some really great things in high school, have wonderful experiences. And if they can put it all together and showcase themselves as a well-rounded student, that's what, because one grade isn't going to be what
Mhm.
showcases what they can do, or their test scores aren't going to be really indicative of what they can really do in their true potential. But
Hmm.
what they're doing outside of those things is really phenomenal and magnificent.
Hmm.
And that's
Hmm.
pretty common in today's age, especially with social media and all these great things. These kids are
Right.
doing some really wonderful things. They're starting their own businesses in high school,
Yes.
some of these kids, and
Yes.
they're doing some great things, but there's no place to show that in a college application.
Yeah.
And you hear those stories over and over again. Just look on YouTube and other places, where kids are like, "Hey, I had a 1600 on my SATs, and I had these perfect grades, but I still didn't get in." And that's because they
Yeah.
can't see who that student is beyond their grades and test scores.
Right.
And that's a huge issue in today's application cycle.
Mm.
So this is really for every student. And it's really important for all students. And you don't need a lot in your portfolio to make a difference. You
Yes.
just need to showcase your greatest talents, your greatest skills, your greatest experiences, the things that are most meaningful to you. Not only did you win the race, but that you participated and you did
Yes.
your best and you're showcasing that.
Yes.
And that is meaningful. And if you've grown in any, like whether it be in your writing or in your um, scientific talents, so some kids, they start off experimenting with little things in freshman year, by senior year, they're doing all these great biomedical, experiments and things like that. We had one student who did 3D printing, who
Wow.
created a wonderful mask using a 3D printer that could be used within hospitals. I mean, it was actually pretty phenomenal. I'm not describing it as well as that student could, but these are the things that kids are doing today. And there was no place for her to showcase the project that she did and the amazing work that she did in her common application. So we gave her a place for that, because that 150 character field in the common application certainly did not tell the story of what that student had done and the impact that that student had had on the
Mhm.
community around her by creating the mask that she created and to help the elderly people in her area,
Yeah.
with oxygen. I mean, it was
Beautiful.
actually just phenomenal. So she was able to not only showcase what she had made, but the impact that she had on the community. She
Mhm.
had some testimonials in there from her, and that was all within her portfolio.
Yeah, yeah. And as you said, it's what's important to the student. And I think
Hmm.
a lot of times too, students, because they do something day in, day out, when I'm thinking about like students who are caring for a family member, if maybe one reason why they're not doing a lot of extracurriculars is because of the family system and they need to be at home. Well, they're not necessarily putting that down because, that's not school related. And if you're caring for a caregiver, a family member 10, 20 hours a week, if you're
Hmm.
if you're the person that's sitting there and providing the meal, whatever it is, I mean, that speaks volumes. But sometimes we don't always understand that. And so your portfolio helps with that. So I do want to do a demo, if
Okay.
you want to go ahead and do that. And then I'm curious, when you're asking people to put things in, are there questions or prompts of things? Hey, did you include this, or how did you spend your time, or like what prompts them to know what to put in there?
So we have lots of kind of FAQs throughout the site, like what should you put in, what might you
Excellent.
want to put in, but they're not maybe as detailed as you're talking about right now. But the reality is, the digital memory box. So this, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a Lifestream digital memory box. The great thing about the
Look
memory
at
box
all those categories.
The great thing about the memory box is that it's private to you and it is organized. And that's part of what the system helps you do. Today's digital natives, while they're fantastic with technology and putting things up on social media, they're not really great at organizing their digital media. And we have
Mm.
found that out. And so the platform helps them organize it so that when you add a memory, when you add a memory or edit a memory, and again, you can add any digital media format. So it's not just for pictures and videos. It's for Word, Excel, PowerPoint, even code can be put into Lifestream.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and you can upload from any device. So it's not just for your computer, your laptop, it's your phone, your tablet, really any device in any digital media format. When you upload information, we help you organize, and the system helps you organize it so that all the digital media for a current project is on the left-hand side and the descriptions on the right-hand side. There's no toggling back and forth or index needed for that archaic folder system that's out there.
Wow.
Most students, you'll laugh, most students don't even understand the folder system because they never had manila folders. If you
Right.
think about it, only people in our generation have had manila folders. Young kids are like,
Right.
okay, So then, and to add and edit a memory is kind of the same. So I'll just do this for efficiency purposes. But you simply add memory name. You put the start date. The end date is optional. You have some common application fields, hour spent per week, weeks spent per year, as well as that short 150 character field so that you can practice and play with kind of the words and the things that you want to put in there. But what Lifestream also enables you to do is put a longer description into Lifestream so that you can talk about what it is you did, why it was impactful, the meaning it had to either you or the community around you. Now, and we know that people are dimensional, right? We are multidimensional people. So when you're doing something, usually there's multiple reasons why you're doing it. You could be
Mm.
talented at it, you could be volunteering, it could be just participating in something. So we enable you to select out one or more very quickly and easily as far as a purpose. So this is why the memory is so meaningful to you. The categories are your columns. So this is where you can organize it into, again, it's dimensional. So you can select one or more. So it's athletic, but it's also you're participating maybe in a volunteer community event, or, it's an extracurricular activity. So again, for as many as are
Excellent.
meaningful to
Now,
you or
can they
applicable.
add a category, or the categories are set?
The categories are set, and the reason
Yes.
you're set is
Love it.
because we worked with admission professionals and
Yes.
hiring managers to
Yes.
determine the best categories for them. What do they care about? And we took the essence of a category. So many people call athletics something, multiple things. You call academics multiple things. Like if you think
Excellent.
about it, we have different terms for the same thing. Well, that's problematic when you send it somewhere. So we made it easier. And then your tags are your details. So you can select out one or more tags. And Lifestream, as you could see, has life skills and character traits as part of a category they can put things in. And that's because life skills and character traits are essential for
Yes.
admission professionals to be able to not only understand, but see. And Lifestream is the first platform to enable the direct association between an experience and life skills that are within that experience. So that an admission professional, when you say, hey, I'm a leader, but then you show it in
Mm-hmm.
through your portfolio saying, here's where I was a leader, because you can be a leader in many different ways. It's not just about standing in front of a classroom. So you can identify that within your portfolio. Once you
Excellent.
save the front part, you can just add your digital media, again, from any device and any type of digital media. Once you save it, we reformat it for you. And again, ideally, students save things over time, but this is quick and easy enough for even the junior who's just about to apply to the rising senior who's just about to start to apply can do this as well. We recommend that this not be kind of that one and done, like a customized website. They try to do those things because this really helps you reflect on
Mm-hmm.
kind of things that you did and really helps you tell your story within the application. So if kids start live streaming before they start their application, again, even if they're starting the Common App August 1st, stick a bunch of stuff in live stream. It will help you with your Common Application when it opens August 1st. The other thing it enables you to do is obviously when you are actually doing your Common Application on August 1st, if you go into for the things that you're listing on your activities section, you can copy and paste that 150 character field.
Okay.
The other benefit to your point is on the Common Application, you're supposed to be putting things that you did kind of formal activity inside and outside of school. So many students are doing things that are informal. I had a student this past year took care of his little brother
Mhm.
as part of what he needed to do. So he couldn't really work or do some other
Mhm.
activities that he might have done at school because of that. There was no place really for him to put that. He did put it in his activities section, but again, it didn't show, he drove his brother to, his swim lessons. He took his brother out to the park. He taught his brother basketball. Like he did so many things so he could put those things in Lifestream.
Yes.
And
Yes.
when he wanted to send his portfolio, up in the upper right hand corner, this is where you have control as a user. So again, what's in your digital memory box is yours. You can put whatever you want in there. But let's say, like in your art project, you have a picture of your parents that you don't want to share. You can select out down to the media level what you
Wow.
actually want to share within your portfolio. But let's say you want to share your whole science fair project and you want to have your whole showcase video. That's great. Now again, you don't need pictures or videos. You can just have like a series of essays that you save. But maybe you just want to save two or send two, excuse me, share two. So you can select down to the media level. I'll
So would
just
those be the two that they also put in the comment app, or those would be two additional ones if they wanted to put them in there?
It should be a kind of probably a combination because
Okay.
you only have 10 activities in the Common App. And kids are doing a lot more than 10 activities. Now, they may overlap, but remember, you're giving a deeper look into that activity in your portfolio than you can provide in your Common App in that 150 character
Right.
description. So you want to kind of have the same things on a deeper level within your portfolio, but then you can have additional things within your portfolio. So let's say you have beyond 10 and you've been volunteering at lots of different places or whatever, and you can't fit them all in, put them in Lifestream so that they can see that, oh, they did this too and they did that. But again, you want to put your best foot forward. So
Yes.
whatever's going to showcase you well is what you should put into Lifestream.
So
And
Anne, would you recommend, like, if they have 10 activities, would you recommend that they actually do put in all 10 activities, or do you recommend that the 10th activity should be see my full live stream portfolio?
we haven't had anyone that I know of put it as an activity
Okay.
because so the activity spaces should really be used primarily for activities. Now, we did have a student reference their portfolio. So that student with the mask that I just
Yes.
described,
Phenomenal.
and I had another student with some other phenomenal work that she had like marched on Washington, done other things. She referenced her portfolio in that 150 character field in describing that she said, and additional information in portfolio. But really the portfolio link can either go into the additional information field, or there's um, a online presence field that's within the application where you can put a link as
That's
well.
where you,
So let me
okay.
just finish the portfolio, and then everybody can see what it actually looks like. So I'm just going to select out a few other things here, just so you can see it. If I don't select it, it won't be in there. Like the high school prom, again, digital memory box, you can save whatever you want. It's private to you, but then you can share. You can decide what to share later on. So as you preview the portfolio, you just want to double check that only the 2 essays that you were sending are in there, or the picture of your parents is no longer in there. It's only the 3 that you wanted. And then you save the portfolio. Now I'm going to put, because I know we just had a Dr. Roz portfolio. So I'm going to put Dr. Roz portfolio as a different name. So we create the portfolio. And the portfolio is created that quickly and that easily. So if you wind up thinking, oh, I should have included that, or I should have included this, that's fine. You can always go back and redo a portfolio. You'd have to delete the original and go back and select all again. But it's very easy, as you can see. It's a very easy process. And then to send it, you just hit copy link, and then you paste it into, again, your Common App, your Coalition app, or any online application. California loves these because they are test blind.
Mm.
So the California University system, as is the CUNY, did it change over to the portfolio? Let me make sure it did. Yes, it looks like it did. Okay,
Mhm.
good. So this is your portfolio. And again, going back to your question, Dr. Roz, will the admission professional open all of these? And I can honestly tell you, probably not.
No, exactly. Yeah.
You know, but here's the thing, the applicant put their best foot forward and put the things
Yes.
that they care about in this portfolio. This enables the admission professional, the recruiter, whoever's looking at the portfolio, which are all human beings, right? We all have different care abouts as human beings. Like, what do, and in our positions are going to make sure, like, a professor looking at this is going to want different things from a recruiter looking at this,
Yes.
right? So you've put everything and put your best foot forward. It everything stays on Lifestream secure servers, so it's not blowing up any university's, system, IT system, or anything like that.
That's a great point too.
And the admission professional, even if they don't open anything, do you see how they get a more holistic view of who that
Yes.
applicant is and what they can do beyond
Mm.
their grades and test scores, even without opening anything? And
Right.
that's the beauty. But
What
if
I
they want
also
to
love
see
too.
something, they
Oh, go ahead.
can. I'm sorry, if they want to see something, they can. So they can open even the student's resume. This way they
Right.
have a picture of themselves, maybe a 10-second video as well as their resume. Or again, they could be really interested in what they did in their biology club project. And so they go through and go, but they can find what they need quickly and easily, right? Remember we
Yes.
talked about the average of 7 minutes? They don't want to have to look through a customized website, and they're certainly not going to look through a Dropbox or Google link because they can't find what they need quickly and easily.
Yeah.
This right at their fingertips.
Well, and what I love too is, if I'm an admissions professional and I'm looking through and I'm thinking, grades are great, athletics are great, extracurriculars are great, check, 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 check. I really want to know how they're impacting the community. Then if I go to community involvement and I see talk show appearance, but if somebody else is like, well, what are we doing extracurricular? Oh, well, they were also on a talk show. Like whichever, like I love how it's so nuanced that a student can showcase my talk show appearance was both community involvement and extracurricular, and probably one of those life events or the life activities or life skills traits. I don't know if that's in the category that she put over there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So see, it's there too. So it's phenomenal. Oh, and then even in a special memory, so it's phenomenal that even if as an admissions professional I'm looking for something or hiring manager, I'm looking for a specific something, but the student can showcase, I did this thing and it really goes in all these different places because of this reason. And
That's great. And the other thing is the admission professionals ask for it to be in multiple categories. So that's the other important thing. And the reason is because they're usually siloed. They're looking for something particular when they first start out. They need to know their academics or they need to know their extracurricular. But then if they want to see their life skills, they didn't want to have to guess where to go. So they wanted the categories. They wanted it in all the categories so that when they're looking at whatever they need to look at for that moment in time, they can find everything that's associated with it. So know that that is a meaningful part of the program that admission professionals actually requested.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You are so wise. I just love that our paths have crossed and that you're sharing this information. So if folks are saying yes, 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 I want this, how do they get in touch with you? What's their first step?
Well, they can, this is the great thing about this too, is it's self-serve. And one last thing that goes into um, how to pay for college into what your program does is this Lifestream helps to what you were just saying, Dr. Roz, about fit and understanding the fit and whether the student is right for their community. That's a big part of today's admissions process. Is not only, grades and test scores are often just the starting point, and then they try to look at what else is going on with that student to make sure, because they're building a community of students.
Mm-hmm.
And so the more they think that you're going to fit into their community and the better they think you're going to fit, the
Yeah.
more money you're going to get because they want you in their community.
Yeah.
So it goes right into the
Yeah.
financials. But going into how to sign up, it's a very self-serve platform. So you just go to lifestreamdigital.com, and that's L-I-F-E, Lifestream, S-T-R-E-A-M, digital.com. And you can view the information there. You can sign up right for the program. The best part about it is that we've tried to make this affordable for everyone. It starts at $19.95 a year
Wow.
for a family. And so we
For
really,
a family.
for a family. So,
Wow.
and now students can have, it's really per account. So if a student has uh, one account, uh, they can have an individual account or you can have a family account. But either
Gotcha.
way, yeah. So but it starts out at $19.95 a
Wow.
year. And,
Wow.
as you need more memory, obviously more space, there's different programs associated with that.
Excellent.
There's lots of questions and answers on our site, or they can contact our customer service department at any point in time. We're 24/7 customer service at lifestreamdigital.com, or they can send it through a question through our website as well. So we really try to be available for our community. We love our Lifestream community. We've helped thousands of kids, and we love that we've helped thousands of kids.
Yeah.
And I love getting the stories from students and admission professionals too, but especially the students just saying,
Yeah.
I'm really happy I had Lifestream. And my own son, so not only was he the first one to put Lifestream in his common application in 2019, and he just graduated, but he actually said to me during the course of his college career as a mechanical engineering major, he had a project he had done in high school, and because of Lifestream, he could reference back to the project to kind of have a starting point for his project in college.
Wow.
And so he was like, I have to say, thank you for making me like, because at the time, it's kind of like mom making you Lifestream, because I know these kids don't love, saving information over time is not, something that kids are used to.
Yeah.
And so, but at the same time, it's a really important thing. And it really does help with the application process, but not only for college applications, but for career applications. So you can continue to Lifestream beyond graduation throughout college and into your career. And you can always have information available that you can readily create a digital portfolio, whether it be for an application, or I've had people use this now for career advancement as well,
Yes,
because
I
they've
bet.
saved their
Yeah.
professional certifications and other things, and then they could send it to their boss and get. So it's really for college and career.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. You are amazing. And I talk about in Love Revolution that Dr. King quote that a social movement that moves merely people is a revolt, but a social movement that transforms both people and institutions is a revolution. And you are revolutionary. Livestream is revolutionary because it is transforming this digital space and helping these students shine and authentically shine. Not in an AI, let's go generate something, but in an authentic way. How do you spend your 168 hours every single week? And looking at the depth and the breadth, it's absolutely beautiful. And
Thank you.
I already have written down two people that I'm going to introduce you to the minute this video is done. So, debt free
Thank you.
beloveds. As you all know, I could talk to Anne for the next hour and a half, and she is absolutely amazing. Definitely look at her site and be thinking about this, y'all. It is so this is a game changer, and we are delighted, and that you had this time with us, and that you shared the demo, and we're thankful for you in the world. I had no idea that this existed, and so
Thank you.
thank you so much. I appreciate you.
I really appreciate you having me today. And please let me know if there's anything any of your families need. I'm always happy to help. We're here.
Excellent. Excellent. All
Okay.
right, debt free degree beloveds. Until next time, this has been Pontification with a Pro, and I will be back next time with another pro. Thank y'all.